Hello folks, hope everybody's safe. Welcome to another smoke on the porch, just chilling, speaking things on my mind. Of course, got my drink. Monster Energy. It is the zero sugar, but it still has all the other unhealthy stuff that's in it. And yeah, this will be my last, about a 10 pack of these. It's Macanudo Crew Royale, and this is a medium cigar. It's just by sniffing it, it doesn't have the extra strong like a Maduro cigar would have, or a Liegro, or a Habano. But it's cross-cut. The humidor showed 75, so I'm expecting the cigar to maybe be a little moist. Yes, it has been raining a lot here. You know, the humidity inside the house is showing like 60% right now. So yeah, nice smooth draw. So I don't know. Now, of course, a over humid cigar is going to be hard to light, and it's also going to be hard to keep lit. And which I've had, and of course I've deleted those other videos. Yeah, but if you're ever smoking a humidified cigar, you'll smoke it, take a few puffs, and so you know you're having to puff more and more, and the cigar will go out. Yeah, it's a nice smooth draw, but you know I'm having to puff. Let me. Moth. There it goes. Yeah, and I've tried the cedar sticks to light my cigar. I just prefer torch lighters. Dual torch is perfect. Yeah, and again, it's your preference. But to me, a dual torch will light the cigar perfectly. For a larger gauge, like a 60 or 65 gauge, and you might want to go to a tri or a quad torch. Yeah, I'm having a hard time. Yeah, this might be slightly. Yeah, this cigar might be slightly over humidified, and it is as you can see, it's canoeing on the bottom. Let me flip it over. Yeah, it's over it is over humidified. Okay, I'm gonna torch it up some more. Touch it up on the side that's canoeing. Like I said, the draw is nice and smooth. Normally on over humidified cigars, the draw is also very hard. It's almost like trying to suck a suck a milkshake. Well, this cigar has nice and smooth draw, but the problem is that I'm having a hard time keeping it lit. So hopefully, once it burns in about half an inch to an inch, but 75 is right at where you want to cut it for too much humidity in your humidifier. I mean, in your humidor. Okay, so anyways, the yeah, back in the mass thing, you know, the mass snob is getting out of hand over in Europe. EU and UK is worse there. You know, there you got, and of course blue states here in the US. You know, over there, you know, they got the government asking their citizens to snitch on their neighbors for not social distancing, for not wearing masks while they're outside. Uh, and in some cases, Big Brother will pay you. Yeah, I'm having to puff on a lot just to get the smoke going. Yeah, it's best to go ahead and touch up the cigar when it begins to canoe, rather than just let it keep canoeing and then you got an actual canoe. You got your cigar burnt out looking like a canoe. Yeah, this cigar is way too moist. Like I said, I'm having a hard time. It's not a bad tasting cigar. Aroma is good. The taste is it's about what you expect for a mild cigar. So, yes, and of course these folks here in the U.S., over in Europe, they're only caring about social distancing and especially mask. They're only caring about because as for the social distancing, of course, the government came out from the beginning. It's like, hey, everyone keep 6 feet apart. The mask thing hasn't really come in until like the last month or so. May and towards the end of April, when the government finally came out and said, yeah, folks, you probably should be wearing masks, and of course these sheeps, only care. Now that Big Brother told them, hey, yeah, you should wear a mask, and now the sheeps are wearing masks. It's like, you should, if you really cared, if you really were, you would be wearing masks back in January, February, and March. But of course, the sheeps only care now that Big Brother has come out and said, yeah, folks, go ahead and wear a mask, and now we got the mask snobs. Yeah, that's too moist. It's having a hard time smoking it. So again, luckily where I'm at, I don't have to worry about the mask snobs. Again, we don't have signs at our parks, at our malls and structures. Now of course there are signs that says, hey, we suggest, mainly at stores, hey, we suggest that you, other than along with social distancing, that you wear a mask. But other than that, I haven't really been to any stores or any place that says you must wear a mask. Maybe in over there in Europe, UK, maybe in blue states they have mandatory. I know there are some mayors, including governors here in the U.S. in the blue states that were trying to pass mandatory mask laws. Yeah, I'm having to take 4 to 5 puffs just to get a nice good puff out of this cigar. So yes, it has been raining a lot. Been raining a lot, too much actually, and yeah, it's and the air is very saturated. So of course the humidity in the humidifier is going to go up. All right, so on to I guess other things. Of course, the I guess that's been in the news is the incident with the white lady and the black man up in New York, some park up in New York. There we go. And of course, the incident is, and of course, the news always shows, parts of the video where it fits their narrative. So basically, the part of the video that they show is where the white lady is calling the cops on this black man, this jogger. Well, actually, according to his sister, he's a bird watcher. So now we got joggers who are bird watchers. But anyways, if you watch, they released the full video. So if you watch the full video, is that the guy comes up to the lady who has her dog off a leash. She does have a leash on her. The guy's obviously a dog hater. He's also a psychopath. Who carries around dog snacks in their pocket? Uh, you know, so he's telling the lady, hey, put your dog on the leash, and and the lady's like, hey, he's just rummaging around, and she wouldn't put him. She wouldn't put her dog on the leash. In that incident, what you would do is, if I were the guy, I wouldn't even bother even telling, because when I go to parks, we see people all the time with dogs off the leash. I don't bother. Well, of course, I like dogs. Have dogs myself. My dog's always on leash. No, but I don't go up to people at the parks, that have their dogs off the leash, telling them, hey man, But again, both of these are libtards. They're in New York, so they're both libtards. Probably voted for Hillary back in 2016. So anyway, the guy tells her to put her dog on the leash. She's like, no, I'm not going to. Then the guy's like, I'm going to call your dog over. I said, who the heck does that? So he pulls out some dog treats out of his pocket, and he starts calling the dog. At this point, the lady grabs her dog, because who knows what the guy's going to do to the dog if the dog does respond to his call, and he has treats in his hand. Now, dogs in most states are considered property. They're not considered a family member. Here in Texas, I'm pretty sure in New York, dogs, who knows, in New York, dogs might be considered I guess if you go sign some paperwork, pay some fees, I guess you probably could have your dog listed as a family member. So the liberals, man, you never know. So she grabs the dog, because at this point the guy is being hostile to her, saying, hey, I'm going to call your dog over, because you know what the guy's going to do when the dog comes over, strand, because it's a Cocker Spaniel. The lady wasn't out walking her 100-pound pit bull. She's out walking her 20-pound Cocker Spaniel. Dog wasn't going to do nothing. So we don't know what the guy's going to do if the dog did respond. And this sounds like it's not his first run-in with dog owners, because the guy said that he carries, I guess in the video, the guy said he carries dog snacks, or he may have posted that he carries dog snacks in his pockets. The reason he carries it is for when he has incidents with dog owners. Like, what? Are you carrying around poisoned dog snacks? Why are you carrying around dog snacks in your pocket? The guy comes off as a sociopath, not just a dog hater, but a sociopath. Why, if you don't like dogs, why are you carrying dog snacks around in your pocket? Are you poisoning that dog snack so that, if you see a stray dog running around, you call the dog over, feed it some poison dog snacks, and the dog dies? The police actually check in on this guy. Is like, hey man, those dog snacks you got, we want a sample of your dog snacks. Now, of course, the lady works at some finance institute. She hasn't been fired, but she was, I guess, given leave. And hopefully the company, after seeing the full video, is like, hey, this lady's just defending herself and her dog from this guy that's being aggressive towards her. And now, what's weird, of course, this is, again, it's New York. The dog has been removed from the owner. I guess I don't know why. Maybe they're using the excuse of, hey, your dog was off the leash. You're out in public. We're going to take the dog away from you, which I think is a lame excuse, if that's the excuse they use. Because one, the dog didn't attack anybody. The dog wasn't being aggressive. So there's really no reason for them to remove the dog from that lady, other than the lame excuse of she had the dog off the leash, and that maybe she got to pay a $50 fine, get her dog back, or something like that. Again, dogs are considered property in most states. I don't know about New York. So bottom line, in this case, it's just two bitches going at it with each other. Yes, I know it's a black guy, but he's acting like a bitch. I understand if you hate dogs, don't go to park because you're going to run into dogs. If you're a bird watcher, go out into nature where you won't run into any dog watchers. Go to upper state New York where there's a lot of forest, lots of trees. You can do all the bird watching you want. The most you might run into is some hikers, and yeah, you'll get a lot more bird out in the wilderness than at some park that's in your neighborhood. Of course, that would be me. I'm thinking, hey, I don't like dogs. I ain't going to the park because there's people with dogs all over the place. You go to any park in the city, it's going to be people walking their dogs all over the place. So, yeah, so this guy needs to be investigated for possibly, who knows, there are any dogs that are poisoned and killed in that area or in that park. They probably need to check this guy out. And if he did poison any dogs, then yeah, he needs to be arrested and of course tried, and if found guilty, was Michael Vick was given like what 4 years, for dog fighting. This guy's actually poisoning and killing dogs. So, being a liberal state, the guy might get 10 years. But of course, this news, because it's a white lady, because it's a white person, supposedly being racist towards a black person, it's all over the news. But the incident with the two old 85-year-old couple who were hunted and killed at the cemetery, that got small, very, very small to no coverage. Of course, Fox News covered it. The other one, CNN, MSNBC didn't cover it. The New York Times may have wrote an article on it that was like 10 links down their website. Same thing with the jogger in Michigan. Yeah, and the two old couples, as it turns out, was an 80-year-old man and an 80-year-old woman. The first video that of course he shot himself, incriminating himself. The guy is a 60 IQ. That one is of course him beating on the 80-year-old man. Again, what is a 20-year-old doing in a nursing home? I don't know. If he is incompetent, then the court needs to get involved and actually rule this guy as an incompetent adult, and he needs to be put in a mental institute, not in a nursing home. Damn, the cigar's going out. Yeah, this is the problem with smoking a cigar that's too moist. If you don't keep puffing on it, it'll go out. Then there's the second. After that one, it flashes over to another 80-year-old white person in bed, and he's creeping up on them, and then of course he starts punching that person over and over about 4 or 5 times before the video cuts. That's actually an 80-year-old woman that he's punching, and at that age, of course both men and women have very, very frail bone, very frail body at that age, but an 80-year-old woman is going to be a lot more frail than an 80-year-old man. Her bones are going to be a lot more fragile. It can fracture easily. Yeah, and that's one of the things too that takes down a lot of old people, is that when they slip and fall, they could be healthy. It could be a healthy 80-year-old man or woman. They're out walking by themselves, and the next thing you know, they slip and fall, and then they're dead a year or two later. Yes, falls, like my grandmother. She slipped and fell. It didn't kill her, but she wasn't the same after Granny slipped and fell. She had to walk with a cane, to walk with a walker. Before that, she was mobile and walking by herself. So 2 things that kills old people: slip and falls, and pneumonia. And of course that one, the only reason that one got more liberal news coverage is because of the outrage from the public. um, and it still didn't get as much coverage as if it was reversed. Now, if this was some 20-year-old white guy beating on an 80-year-old black man and an 80-year-old black woman, it would be 24/7 news coverage. They'd be calling for this guy's head. They'd be calling for this guy to be arrested and tried for murder. Of course, luckily, neither of these old folks died. But one thing the nursing home and the docs need to be careful of is hemorrhaging, and I forgot the medical term. So basically, if you fall, and you guys probably know it, a lot of time if you take head trauma like this old man, this old lady did, they were repeatedly punched in the head, is that it could cause a very, very hematoma. That's it. It could cause a hematoma, which is a small micro bleeding. And of course, a lot of times, even if the old man or the old lady had a CAT scan to check their brain to see if there was any bleeding, a lot of times it doesn't catch. A CAT scan doesn't catch the hematoma, and depending on how bad it is, it could be since they're old. From what I read up on, when you're young, as you age, your brain shrinks. It shrinks by something like, I forgot which percentage, but your brain shrinks as you get older. And one of the things that help old people survive from head traumas, where there is a hematoma or a bleeding. No, that's not the term. I'm trying to think of the term. Basically, a hemorrhage in the brain. What saves a lot of older people is that the brain shrunk, and that the bleeding, the pressure from the bleeding, it's less likely to kill the older person. To where if you're kind of that, it was in the news. As I think 13-year-old girl was in a fight. She got knocked down, fell down, and hit the back of her head. 3 days later, that girl died because she had a bleeding in the. She just 3 days later she just fell over dead. And they did an autopsy. It turns out she had a bleeding in her head from that fall that she took 3 days earlier. Damn it! The cigar went out. Yeah, I was afraid of that. Yeah, 75 might be a little. Yeah, there's a little smoke coming, but if I puff it. Yeah, that's about 6-7 puffs, which is not cool because it takes away from the enjoyment of smoking. There it goes. Yeah, this since it's so humid, I might have to. And of course, I am about 4 videos behind, so I need to get my butt editing and uploading. Of course, I'm doing videos now that I got a chance, and now that I got the time, because when things get busy, of course, I'll go weeks, or maybe a month without uploading anything. So I figured, hey, now that I got the time, go ahead and do as much as I can, and get it uploaded when I get a chance. So. Well, that's it for the video. Hopefully, and of course, that guy has been arrested, and haven't really heard much other than he's been arrested. Don't know if he's out on bail. And as for the McMichaels and their neighbor who filmed the video, I don't know if they're out on bail. The thing is that of course the man that filmed the video, he got doxxed. Someone put out his address, and of course people are threatening to go by his house, burn his house down or kill him and his family. So if he's out on bail, hopefully he's staying at a relative's house, and if he's got a brother or sister, friend or cousin who's like, yeah man, you come stay over here until things blow over, until the case blows over. If I were him, I would start cleaning out the house, put it up for sale. He may need that money for defense attorney, But I would definitely move. Is I screw this, or put the house up for rent. Hey, house for rent. I'm moving somewhere else. Screw you people. And that's it. Thank you guys, and enjoy your smoke. And yeah, if I guess if it's humid, if it's been raining a lot and it's humid, then you might want to take a few of your. Now supposedly the crystals that I got in the humidor is supposed to balance out. If it gets too humid, it's supposed to suck the humidity out of the air. That's what the crystals are meant to do. Or if it's too dry, it's supposed to put humidity back into humidifier. But like I said, it's just been so freaking humid because all the rain we've been getting that I guess is overwhelming the crystals. So I might, what I might do is open up the humidifier to get it down to the house's humidity, which is around 60 right now, and close it up because 75 is too humid. The cigar is not staying lit. And so if you go check your, man, let me run over and check my humidifier, and it shows 75 or 75 plus, then you might want to open up your lid, let all of the humidity out to or if you got more crystals, throw some more crystals into the humidifier, because it's not fun smoking a cigar that's too moist, because it doesn't stay lit. And if you're not paying attention, not puffing a lot, it's going to go out, and then you got to relight it. And for relighting a cigar that's gone out, I'll do what I normally do, is just touch the cigar for about 3 or 4 seconds, and then light it up again. Because if you try it, the worst tasting thing you can taste is sucking on a cigar that's gone out. It's like sucking on an ashtray. Yeah, it's not very tasty. Well, thank you guys, and until next time.